In today's episode, we're going to be talking about what do you do in your free time and how those activities mean to you and the world. Stay tuned.
You are listening to Unboxing the Truth podcast, only the greatest and the best podcast in the world, brought to you by George Carrillo.
And so then there was I, just talking to that person, telling them exactly what to do. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know nothing else to do. It was a fucking cry on the fucking floor. So what else would I have to say? I remember it said, you could do whatever you fucking want to do.
All right. George here with another episode. Yeah. All right. We just gotta get this started, get motivated. Let's warm up. I don't know about you, but I'm drinking my coffee. Are you drinking your coffee? All right. So let's get that fading going. Let's start this episode. Let's have a great time. Let's stay motivated like we always do. It's going to be another great episode. It's not going to be heavy loaded, about 15 minutes, give or take, but we're going to have a great time. But today, like I said, what do you do in your free time and how those activities mean to you and the world? Man, is it true? Is it not true? All right. Well, I think in the first two episodes, I did bring in a quote kind of like, to, give you a kickstart throughout the day, get you moving forward, make you start thinking about, the next steps ahead after listening to this episode. And so today I do want to bring in the first, some little comedy. It's a little kid I found on YouTube. And he's been asked the question too. What do you do in your free time? So I'm pretty sure some of you guys seen it. It's a very popular Vine. So check it out.
What do you like to do in your spare time?
Fuck bitches. Don't tell my mom that.
Damn. Oh my god, man! It's crazy how little kids can be a little motivated. But I just wanted, they're crazy like that. To think that way. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that he doesn't know what that really means. But anyways, I wanted to start off with a quick comedy there. Hopefully that made you laugh a little bit. Let me just replay it because it's just hilarious, man.
What do you like to do in your spare time?
Fuck bitches. Don't tell my mom that.
Damn. All right. So moving forward, I mean, it's true. Like, what do you do in your free time, man? And there's a lot of things that we do. There's things as hobbies. And I'm not talking about doing work. Don't do work, or don't do anything that is part of the hustle. When it comes to what do you do in your free time, I mean, what do you do in your free time as far as for your personal self, for your health, for your well-being, right? Something that when you're stressed out, right, you're in the hustle, you're doing your thing, you're pushing forward, putting hours in, all-nighters in, making phone calls, sending emails. So when you're trying to distract yourself or guide yourself away from that, what is it that you do? What is it that you do, moving forward? A lot of the things that we do outside of that could dictate what is going to happen when we go back in, right? I'm pretty sure there's a way that you express yourself. One way that I express myself is obviously, one is the podcast. Two is music. I like making music here and there, Yeah, I'm not a singer or rapper, but I like doing that once in a while. It keeps me out of the loop of what sometimes I'm doing, at work or in school. And I believe everyone has something like that, something where it's an outlet. It's an outlet where you're able to just, push yourself away from somewhat reality, go into your little fantasy world, and have a great time. It's kind of a quick breather, And so really think about that, I do also want to push forward to this morning motivation video that I was kind of looking at. It's a great video. I will be posting the link below. It's on YouTube. It's by a channel called Be Inspired. It is a very popular channel, has about 1.1 million subscribers. So these guys do an amazing thing when it comes to motivation. They get the best compilations of great speakers or actors, movie scenes, and they put it together and they just put amazing music. So this one's called Morning Motivation. Wake up early, start your day right. Because I believe when you wake up, You take that first deep breath, right? And you tell yourself, today is going to be a great day. Today is going to be an amazing day. No matter what happens, I'm ready for today. And at times when you wake up, you're like, fuck, another day, right? But we need to push forward to be like, you know what? Yeah. And this is a kickstart to what I want to talk about a little bit later, because I don't want to just talk completely. I do want to organize a little bit better these talks. And so, quick comedy. Now moving forward, some morning motivation. It's a great ass video. I would just play it just a little bit here. But it's, you know, man, I love this shit.
It's the simple things that keep most people back. I think naturally we get up, not everybody, but if when you're lying in bed, a lot of times you'll think about, oh man, I don't feel like going to work, and you can rehearse the problems, or you can rehearse what happened yesterday, and it starts right at the beginning of the day. So that's why I think it's so important when you first get out of bed in the morning, find something to be grateful for. You know, you may not feel perfectly well, but you got your family. You don't have your job, but you got a great place to live. You got some friends. So you start the day off, you know, you set the tone right at the beginning of the day, before you check the stock report, before you check the weather.
When you wake up in the morning, the birds are chirping, you feel great, you feel like taking on the world. Yeah, those are the days, you know, anyone can go get after it. But when it's raining and you don't feel good, those are the days that you have to find the energy to attack the day.
And that's what I'm talking about.
That separates you from the other people.
You know, I think, and that is completely true. You know, cue the video out. If you do have time, I would say this video here, if you're not going to be looking at it or seeing it, just hearing it out, you know, download it. They also have a download feature as well. You know, if you could hear this every single morning, man, you're going to go far, man. Because it's true. Whenever you wake up and you're having a fucking just a bad day already, you know, and you just don't want to get up, you don't want to move forward, you kind of tell yourself, you know what, man, if you're able to push yourself, you're already completely, you know, in a different group, in a very small group in the world that is able to do that, right? The people that are successful people out there, the people that live every single day with greatness and success, and you're able to do that too, right? So check them out, man. Check them out. I really recommend them. So moving forward here, you know, going back to the idea of what do you do in your free time, right? So let me quick talk about what I do in my free time a little bit, and then I'm gonna be queuing a quick quote by Laura Vanderkam, right? She did came out on TED Talks. I'll be linking the video below too if you want to see her TED Talks, and she talks about free time as well. And so what do we do, man? What do I like to do? So one thing, like I said, away from the hustle, right? Podcast is part of the hustle, right? Music, that's where one of my outlets, right? I'll go on SoundCloud, listen to some music, some you know, someone those independent artists out there, you know, they release just tracks and stuff. Just listen to hip hop here and there, or motivation tracks as well, and start writing, man. You know, I like writing poems here and there sometimes. I haven't written a actual poem when it comes down to an actual like poem the right way, right? But I like to put things down sometimes, you know, because there are thoughts in my head that I don't really know what they really mean, or I have an envision for them, right, in my mind. But it's so different once I put them into paper. I put them down, I write it down, I listen to it. I'll sometimes record it, right, put it into a track with music and just really listening to it out loud and through the speakers. It's just amazing, right? It just gives it a whole different meaning compared to what I have it, which is pretty crazy because it's kind of like seeing myself outside of myself in a way, as far as those thoughts that I had that I was able to write down, record through the computer, put it with music, you know, mix it in, and it's great, you know. That's one thing I love to do. Another one, and this is crazy, some people that know me really pretty well, they're just like, dude, you're just crazy. I love to bike sometimes, you know. I haven't had the time to bike for, you know, a few months already. But unfortunately right now, I did had my car kind of broke down and stuff. You know what? I'm like, you know what, man? That's not gonna stop me. That's not gonna stop me. I love biking, you know. I'm sure it's about a 40-minute drive bike to work, but I mean it's only a 20-minute drive. But as far as for bike, it's about twice. But hey, why not? Why not have a great time? You know, feel the breeze. Yeah, I live in the city, so I'm gonna get that smog in. But those are the two things that I love to do, right? Ride a bike, go into music, into poetry, and put it all down. That's the outlet that I have. And sometimes when I re-listen, when I'm, you know, re-listening to what I record, it helps me kind of guide the scope of what I'm feeling at the time. What is it that I want to do later in the day? I mean, it just simply sets the whole mood. So like that, when I go back to the hustle, right, I'm ready to go. Now, when it comes to free time, a lot of people also think about the idea of going out, right? Going out with friends and family, which is great, you know. But we all have a different type of what fun means, right? Our definition of fun. A lot of people, when they say, "Oh man, you know fun," and so it's very different what fun means for someone, right? Some people might think that going out to the clubs and having drinks and, you know, listening to loud ass music or people doing karaoke when they're drunk means fun. For me, that's not fun. You know, I'd rather go outdoors, go on a hike. That's a little bit more fun. You know, you're able to remember things a lot better, and for longer, for years to come, going hiking or going to a museum versus going to get drunk, right? But it all depends what you like to do, and whatever you like to do, that's great. And I think that's also part of your free time, right? Doing what you like to do. Now, if you love the hustle, no matter how much you love the hustle, sometimes you have to escape it. I think it's important. And I wish to one day interview one of these successful people, right? Entrepreneurs, motivation speakers, authors, magicians, you know, any people out there that has done something incredible. I think that's one thing that I would ask them, like, hey, is having the free time outside work, outside of the hustle, is it important? Is it true? Is it what's going to get you to the next level, right? And so, without further ado, I do want to bring in the video, the quick little quote that by Laura Vanderkam. It's a great one, you know. Really think about what she says. Really think about. I'll give it my opinion on it. So, other than that, let's just cue it in right now.
We don't build the lives we want by saving time. We build the lives we want, and then time saves itself.
All right. So that part right there, when I was listening to her TED Talk, and this is kind of like in the beginning, right? A minute 56 in, and when she put this in, which is kind of like the generalized concept of what she's talking about, right? We don't build the lives we want by saving time. We build the lives we want, then time saves itself. Which I completely agree with that completely at all. I just do. And so, I'll give you 3 seconds. Think about kind of what you think it really, what do you think it is, you know? And then I'm going to go in and kind of give it my analysis on it. Ready? All right. So, going forward, we don't build the lives we want by saving time. A lot of people think that, man, you know, I got to save time. I got to do this. I got to do that. And so they think it's part of time management, right? And so when it comes to time management, the idea is to save time, right? But the thing is that when you're saving time, it's kind of like you're saving money, right? What happens to your money that's saved? It's just there, right? It's saved, it's paused, you can use it later, etc., etc. The thing with time is that you can't do that. It's not something that we could stop, right? We can't save time. So throughout the day, when someone is trying to, you know, use their time management skills, throughout the day. All right, so I gotta wake up at 7. Gotta do this by 8 o'clock. Ready to go. 8:30. Gotta do this. 9 o'clock. I do have a meeting with that. Boom, boom, boom. Everything good to go. And so at the end of the day, let's just say it's about 5, 6 p.m. On a normal week for a normal corporate person, right? They're saving time. They're like, all right, good to go. I was able to do all this much, which, that's great. That's amazing. And so now there is this rest of the day, right? And so, this is what I think, right? And so they say, okay, so I'm going to cram as much as I can, as effective and healthy throughout my whole work time. So like that when I go home, I don't have to do it, right? So they think they just save time. That's the idea. And sometimes I think like that. It's very, as far as the psychological part, it's kind of hard, right, to think about. So when you get home, right, what do about 80% of the people do when they go home? They don't do shit. They're gonna watch a show. You might read a book, and the free time, right? The free time, this time that was been saved, and so you tend to do nothing no more. You're tired, make food or order takeout, and it's done, And so you're gonna wake up the next day, you're gonna do it again. Yeah, sure, you're like, you have this big chunk of time at the end of the day, but you have to do something with it. You can't just let it go with a waste. There's no purpose to it. So moving forward, the second part she talks about is, what she says, we build the lives we want, then time itself saves itself. Now that makes a little bit more sense because, in my point of view, going back to example, right? You get off work, you got that big chunk of time, you start doing what you want to do, right? Your side hustle, or you want to work towards your promotion for your job, or you want to try to. Usually that's not really a dream. Some people think that's a dream. I don't think it's a dream, right? But if it's your career already, go. It's all right. But when you start thinking about that chunk, right? Start doing things that's productive. That's why I do want to. That's a part of why those activities mean to you in the world, right? Do the things that are going to be productive. There's going to be an outcome to it. Don't think about the money, right? Just do something what is about something that's going to help you grow. Something that's going to help your significant other grow. Something that's going to show your family that, man, you know what? You're pushing hard. Something that's going to show the world that you're doing something that, man, you know what's up. If you love traveling, use that time chunk, man. Go do your thing. Go out there. And as soon as you build that, right, that concrete, that life that you wanted, right, as a traveler, to go out there, it gets to a time. There gets to a moment now that then time will just kind of push in. It's gonna start saving itself at the end of the day, because while everyone is still out there in their couch watching their show, reading, eating ice cream, not doing anything, kills couch potatoes, or just going getting drunk, right? You're doing all these things, all these amazing things. You have created a life where, you love to do. You have so much things, so many ideas as well, So by the time we get to an age where, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to skydive, or run a marathon, you get to look back and say, man, I'm glad I did what I did on my free time. I'm glad that I was able to build the life I wanted. Because now I get to sit down, relax, be grateful, look at my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, hopefully, and just be happy, That's priceless. Versus someone that was Mr. or Mrs. Couch Potato back in the day. They're looking at you like, man, like, that's crazy. Like, aren't you scared to die? Like, no, man. If I die today, I'm happy. I'm good. I'm good to go. Which is true, right? So really think about, for today's assignment, think about that, right? Have some accountability for yourself. I think that's why I'm doing these little assignments, right? Think about, what do you do in your free time, right? And what does it mean to you? And how it will mean to the world one day. This is another chapter into you, into your life, your journey, your story, your novel, that one day you would tell your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and hopefully great-great-grandchildren, right? Life is a mystery. The future is not even written yet. Destiny, yeah, sure, it's out there, but remember, we have control of it all. So make it a fucking good one. You know? Quoting Back to the Future, but make it a good one. So don't be scared. Do it out there, man. I will be leaving the links of all these videos in the description. If you're listening on iTunes or on Spreaker, you're going to be obviously in the description there. If you're listening from iHeartRadio or anywhere else I distribute this podcast, I believe they have all their section for their podcast notes. But really think about that, man. You know, I really want you guys to really think about, what do you do in your free time? It's a great time. Let's have a good time, because it's another great fucking day. My name is George Carrillo, and I'm out because I'm having fun. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, please send your questions, comments, concerns to info@unboxingthetruth.biz. That's BIZBS.